Over the past couple of years, you may well have noticed that Audi has really been focusing on larger electrified and fully electric vehicles. However, they've not neglected this. This is the updated Audi S3. Before we start the review, I want to say a huge thanks to Lake District Audi for making this video possible, and to Stephen, the sales manager. It's been great to test this car today, so I hope you enjoy the full review. If you want to check out Lake District Audi, all their links are in the description down below. Right, let's start off with the exterior design of the S3, because like with the A3 and RS3, it has also received the same facelift. If you do want to watch my full walk around video on the RS3, you can click up there. I did do a full walk around video of the A3 and S3 facelift last year when they were launched, highlighting all the differences. So I'll just touch over them on this video today. So you've got the new headlights, which are flatter and wider to give it a more impressive stance, different signatures on the top bit there, matrix as standard on the S3. So 3 different signatures to choose from, and that's quite cool, just to customize it ever so slightly. There's also 2 trims to choose from on an S3. You can go for the black edition, which is this one, or you've got the top of the range Volkswagen model. Volkswagen adds some carbon mirror caps, carbon detailing inside. It also adds the panoramic sunroof Tech Pack Pro, which you can opt for on the black edition models. But you've got plenty of standard features on this black edition vehicle, and it's probably the one that I would go for. The face of the new A3 range is where it's quite controversial. Not everyone is a big fan of the new floating Audi rings at the top. It would be nicer if they were lighter, the actual rings. These are the normal rings on the A3, and I think they just pop a bit more. So I think those would look good in white on the S3 for sure, just as that more pop, because they kind of get lost in the darker grey colour, but they're not offensive. I think it looks quite sleek. I also do like the new lights as well, and they're the Matrix Plus lights as standard on the S3, which is great to see. They're not standard feature on the A3 range. Nice and sporty. New grille. I quite like it, and it just looks nice with these gloss black wishbone elements. You've also got the nice intakes here. It's not quite as mean looking as the A35 AMG from Mercedes. If you do want something angrier looking, the RS3 definitely delivers that. Alloy wheels on the S3 range from 19 to 19 inches. So Audi have obviously decided 19 is the best for the vehicle. It's quite interesting because on the Golf R, it starts with 18-inch wheels. That would have been nice to see offered on the S3, because these 19s do offer quite a firm ride. Of course, that does mean it sticks to the road like glue and it feels very planted, but over some bumps, it can be quite firm. But there's 2 choices of alloys. As standard on black edition, they come in these 5-spoke edge alloy wheels in the black anthracite. I think these look fantastic. Black anthracite's a good description as well. They look black for a distance, but they're really a dark grey metallic diamond cut, and I really like these. Going up to Volkswagen, you get the 19-inch multiple spoke S-spoke design wheels, which I'm not a massive fan of. I think they just look a bit too busy and complicated on the vehicle. They're a free of charge option on black edition, and vice versa is true. These edge alloy wheels are free of charge option on Volkswagen, so you can have either or on each model free of charge, which is great to see. I'd definitely go for these. They just remind me more classic Audi. I just really like them. Also, to make the car pop even more, this has got the red brake calipers opted. They're £300 optional extra, but they definitely make the car pop. I really like how it looks, and Audi Sport is written on the wheel as well, which looks great. Don't curb your wheel there though, because that's going to be a real pain, definitely. As for tyres, they're wrapped in Bridgestone or Goodyear tyres, basically whatever Audi's got available in the factory at the time. To the side of the S3, there's not a dramatic change. As I say, it's got more of an understated look than an RS3, and you might just think, oh, it's an S-line, till you get to the rear of the vehicle. The rear of the S3 is definitely where you have more of an angry, aggressive look, especially with these quad tailpipes. These are just the standard ones you can get. Akrapovic exhaust pack. That's £4,125, and that's going to give you more crackles, pops and bangs, so it's a bit more fun, louder, but it's a lot of money, is it? £4,000, especially if you're financing the vehicle. You're going to be paying a lot of money a month just for your exhaust, which is a bit ridiculous. This exhaust sounds good enough anyway, especially when you put it in dynamic mode or dynamic plus, and they look good in gloss black with the gloss black rear bumper as well. You can also see the S3 badge there blacked out, which looks really smart, and then these arrow style LED tail lights as standard as well. In total, there's a choice of 9 different exterior paintwork options on the S3, which is very generous, isn't it, from Audi? As standard, it comes in the solid Arcona white, which is a non-metallic white but suits the vehicle well. Metallics start at £595, including this glacier white. You wouldn't necessarily know it's metallic metallic until you get up close to it, but it does add a nice sheen to the vehicle. You've also got Mythos Black, Navara Blue, one of my favourites, Python Yellow. You've also got the Progressive Red for that sporty look. And you've got new for the facelift District Green, which is very fitting for the Lake District. Ascari Blue at £895. That's a stunning colour. That and Python Yellow are my absolute favourites. And last but not least, you've got the Pearl paintwork option, £595 of Daytona Grey, which has been in Audi's range for a long time now. So plenty of choice of colours there, something for everyone. What makes the S3 special though is what lays under the bonnet, and this is the 2-litre TFSI turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine, now delivering 333 PS, which is a nice increase from previously. So that is 328 brake horsepower, 0 to 62 in just 4.7 seconds, and people have managed to do it in just over 4 seconds, so even quicker than it sounds, which is excellent to see. So you probably don't need an RS3 after all with the 2.5 litre TFSI engine. This is just good enough. I mean, it's fun, it's fast, you've still got that Quattro all-wheel drive system, which is fantastic. They've also revised the turbo. That means it spools up quicker, so you have less turbo lag than you did previously. That works well, really well in dynamic mode, etc. I don't think it's on in efficiency mode because you still had a bit of a lag, but in the sportier modes, it works really very well. So all that power is excellent to see on the vehicle. You've now got 420 Newton meters of torque, up from 400 as well, and you've got a max speed on the vehicle of 155 miles per hour, which is governed, so that's the kind of limiter that they put on it. 32.2 miles per gallon is what this car has achieved, and that's the on paper figures around that area as well. So it's a very good engine on the vehicle. Foot to the floor, ready to go. That's pretty crazy, very fun. So 0 to 62 in 4.7 seconds, but even faster than that, which is insane. So you've now got 420 Newton meters of torque as well instead of 400, so that's nice. 328 brake as well. It's fast. Got it in the Dynamic Plus mode, which is new for the facelift, and it works with the torque splitter at the back, giving different power to each wheel, the inside or outside wheel, either to make it oversteer a bit more, making it feel more rear wheel drive, or straightening it up in the wet to give you more grip. So I've got the Dynamic Plus on now, and it does slide out a bit at the back, so it's quite playful. It's fun. Holds on to revs at least 2,000 when you're in that Dynamic Plus mode. It's a rapid thing for sure. This car does make me wish I had the power to see round corners, because it would be great to go fast, but on these you can't see on a blind bend, you have to just slow down. So it's a good job you've got really good brakes on the S3 as standard, meaty discs. It's pretty insane, to be honest, and a lot of fun. I honestly don't think you need any more power than this. The RS3 obviously gives you a bit more, but this is a lot of fun as it is. Also, the great thing about it is the drive modes actually do feel like they do something, if that makes sense. So if I knock it into efficiency now and I just want to cruise, I can do that, and it actually completely changes the tone of the engine and everything like that, just to make it more chilled. So even if I put my foot down in efficiency, it still shifts, but it's just not quite as fast. I've heard a lot of people say this car's boring. I wouldn't say it's boring at all. It's a lot of fun. Granted, it's auto, so you don't have a manual. I do love a manual, but part of the hyper hot hatch fun is an automatic gear shift. With this much power, you get the most out of it when you are driving an auto, and of course the ease of use, etc. Also, this 7-speed S-tronic dual clutch gearbox is so smooth. The shifts are even smoother, so they've tuned it really nicely. Also, the turbos are always spooling up, so they're ready for when you need to put your foot down. You've got a lot less turbo lag. So they've done quite a lot of clever things with the new S3. So I've got it in efficiency mode now, because you can drive it efficiently if you want. You don't have to razz it around all the time, but of course it's fun to do that. The RS3 is more of a permanent sports car, if that makes sense, in that you're less flexible having the 2.5 litre TFSI engine. You're not ever gonna do great miles per gallon in that car. Whereas this car actually allows you to cruise at quite low revs, having a 2 litre engine, but also quite efficiently if you wish. You don't have to drive it like a boy racer everywhere. So here you can see your live miles per gallon should you wish, which might just depress you if you're going very fast. See now when I'm driving, just like chill, it's doing over 40 miles per gallon. So yeah, everyday driving, real world is quite good. Also, what I thought was quite impressive is the long-term memory on this car, over 3,112 miles, is average 32.2 miles per gallon. Really great to see that actually, the figures are so accurate. So 20 to 30. Felt like there was a bit of a lag there, but we are in efficiency mode. If you're in another mode, there's no lag at all because it just gets everything ready, whereas this is prioritizing efficiency. When you turn the car on each time, unfortunately, it does reset back to its normal mode, which is auto. So auto is the default mode, and then it'll just give you the power what it thinks you need. Then you can go into your drive select and change it to whatever you wish. And even at the lower revs, it's really nice to drive because you've always got that torquey feel and you know that the power is going to be there if you do need it. So it makes it just very unstrained, the engine. When you're driving at normal speeds, the engine is perfectly happy, more than happy enough, and you've got more power on tap. So you never feel really like you're pushing it unless you're really pushing it. And to feel like you're pushing this car, you're going too fast probably. Even just round simple corners like that, it's nice and fun. It sticks to the ground really well. There's no roll in the corners and you have grip all the time, so it's good. As I say, the suspension's quite firm. On a smooth road like this, it's no problem at all. It's when you hit a pothole, it can be quite firm. And obviously the track on this thing is not as wide as a RS3, so that'll feel even more planted, especially at the high speeds, autobahn speeds. But driving on the motorway in the UK, 70 miles an hour, you're not going to feel a big difference. These are quite planted anyway, especially on these 19-inch wheels, and of course with the Quattro system with that new rear torque splitter, that all adds to the stability of the vehicle as well. But over some bumps like that, it can feel a little bit jittery. The steering's nice as well, nice and direct, not too light, it's not too heavy, it's quite nice. What I like is the paddles now, it's going to a 40. I could just manual it down and the car will just stay in the gear till you want to change it, which is cool. And then you can change it or hold it down and put it back into drive and it'll just be auto then. If you change a gear with the paddle, it won't just automatically change the gears as it does on most DSGs. It'll hold on to the revs and allow you to use it as a proper semi-automatic rather than a semi-automatic, if that makes sense. So yeah, if I use my paddles now, that's first gear then, it just lets you do it, so that's cool. That's second, and it's just staying in second till it goes to the limiter, so you can just use the actual paddles. There we go, that was first now, still going, and then you can hold down the plus paddle and it will just go back into auto. And it does have that gruntiness to it, which is great. It doesn't have mild hybrid technology. It's got the technology where it charges the 12-volt battery and it'll go into that battery bit on your efficiency bit, if that makes sense. It's not got an electric motor or anything. So think of it as a mild hybrid, if you like. It's just charging the 12-volt battery, which is quite a big one actually. It's quite a beefy one. It never turns the engine off when you're actually driving, like the MHEV Plus systems on the new models. That would have been quite cool to see actually on the S3, the MHEV Plus. Maybe that'll come on the next one. I doubt the next model of this is going to be fully non-electrified. I just don't see Audi doing that. The next generation may be a e-tron model or a plug-in hybrid maybe. We'll see. I do love EVs as well. There's a lot to like about them, but there is something about the noise of the engine and yeah. And having that extra torque and power means it's insanely fast. It's good fun. National speed limit's coming up. I'm going to put it in dynamic mode, we may as well. Come on, drive select. Yeah, drive select can be a bit laggy, which is annoying, especially as you're in a car like this, you want to be changing it quite a bit. You can just hear the exhaust note change straight away and go. can have a bit of fun with it around corners and stuff as well. And it works very well, that torque splitter as well, to actually keep you on track if your back end does end up sliding out and you're not in dynamic plus mode, because dynamic plus mode kind of encourages that back end to slide out more. If you're not in dynamic plus mode, the car will get back on track for you. So it's a safety thing as well, which is good. It's very chill, nice and refined. It's good fun, and you can drive efficiently should you wish, which is really good. Got a rear camera as standard, which is nice, so that's good. There's a lot of equipment on it. It is a high price, but Audi has finally started adding more equipment to the cars. As with the A3 range, you've got the Lamborghini style vents, which I love. I think they're really sporty and cool. D-shaped perforated leather steering wheel is nice with the round centre as well, which looks excellent. Triangular centre one instead of the round on the Volkswagen model. There's a bit of gloss black, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it's only a small amount and you could cover that up quite easily. This black edition gives you suede on the dash, which is my favourite, or you can get the carbon effect trim on the Volkswagen model, so it just depends. You've got double stitch dash at the top and really nice soft touch feeling materials as well. This Sonos sound system is also standard on the S3, which is great to see. You don't have to opt for it or add a pack on, so that's excellent. And you've got wireless phone charging as standard as well. So plenty of standard equipment, rear camera standard, front and rear sensors, etc. You'd expect that at this price point, but it's still nice to see that you get that. These Napa leather sports seats are standard as well on Black Edition and Vorsprung. Very comfortable, nice and plush leather, so they're quite soft, which is nice, and they're nice and matte, so they're great. So comfortable, and as standard you've got four-way power adjustable lumbar support, which doesn't go back in like a handle does, and you've also got your adjustable underleg support, which you can extend, so that's really great, as well as your little thing to adjust the tilt of the seat. So that's all standard, so very comfortable. Obviously having the Tech Pack Pro or the Vorsprung gives you the electronically adjustable seat, so an extra premium feel to the vehicle, but I don't mind this. I would probably just stick with the Black Edition, because you get the Sonos as standard, you get the heads-up display, front and rear sensors, a rear view camera, and then I'd just opt for the sunroof. You've also got this armrest, which doesn't feel like Napa leather. I think that's a synthetic leather, but still very nice. Ambient lighting all round with these little cuts in there as well. They show the light through, which is really cool. You've got your 12.3-inch driver display, and then you've also got your 10.1-inch central infotainment screen. On photographs, the screen looks quite small, but in person it's perfect, and it's facing towards the driver, so it gives you more driver focus feel. Also, what everyone likes is all the physical buttons, and I can agree with that. If you're not a fan of the Golf R's sticky out screen and then all the buttons through the screen, this is a nice antidote to that. It's pretty much completely opposite. It's lower down, it's in a much better space, and it feels a lot more premium in that way, that it's more user friendly. Also get heads-up display as standard, so another nice feature. If you get the Technology Pack Pro, that's just under £3,000 on the Black Edition. Gives you the panoramic sunroof. It also gives you the 360-degree cameras and the electronically adjustable front seats. £3,000 quite a lot of money. If you just wish to opt for the sunroof, it's £1,200 optional extra. That may sound like a lot, but it's definitely worth opting for. It's such a desirable thing to have on the vehicle, especially on the used market, and will make it brighter in here because it is a bit dark because of the dark headlining, which is on all of the cars for the sporty feel. There's your rear camera, that's great. You get front and rear sensors as well, which is really nice. Shortcuts are down here, and your climate as well, which is so easy to use. So I really do like that. All your steering wheel buttons are user friendly. But adaptive cruise control is on a stalk, which can be a bit annoying. It's not as easy as just using it on here as on the VW one, but I think overall it definitely is more user friendly than the Golf R, so that's nice to see, and it does feel nice quality. It's nicely screwed together. You know, contrary to popular belief, a lot of people think these are quite cheap now, but no, it still feels quality that you'd expect from Audi. It's not quite as flashy as the Golf R inside or out. It's just got more of an understated underdog quality premium feel to it. So that is definitely one thing that really sets it apart from the Golf R and also the Cooper Leon, is that even though underneath their skin they're very similar vehicles with the same engine, etc., they're just not quite as intuitive inside. They've gone for that more modern feel perhaps, but this doesn't feel outdated. It just feels solid and kind of familiar, but still has your mod cons on it. Unfortunately, as it is all-wheel drive, boot space is eaten into. So instead of 380 that you get on a normal A3, you just get 325 in here. That's because under the boot floor you don't have as much space, but it doesn't look so much smaller than a normal A3, so it's still very practical. It doesn't look much smaller than the 380 litres of my Golf, even though officially it's 325 litres, so something to bear in mind. You get a tyre inflation kit and you can't opt for a spare wheel, so you've got a little bit of space down here, which isn't too bad, and there's no subwoofer in the back, even with this Sonos sound system, so that'll help even more. But it's a good sound system, I can say that. Tyre inflation kit there as well. If you took out the polystyrene, you could lower the boot floor to give you some more space. Honestly, it's not too bad. Of course, you've got your warning triangle in the boot lid as well. As for rear space in the S3, well, this is my driving position. I've got loads of headroom. Knee room's not too bad, I'm about 5'8", so can still be a practical family hatchback. You've also got your central armrest with cup holders in there. Very nice quality in the Napa leather, I really like that. You don't have a ski hatch, but you do have your 40-20 split. There we go. So you can just have that down, which is great, so that's nice. You've also got your ISOFIX points, which are connected, so you're not losing them. They're really nice, so that's great to see. 2 USB-Cs back here, and then also your climate to the rear, which is great. You've also got a net on the back of each seat, and your Sonos sound system continuing through to the rear. A physical light switch for each passenger as well, so that's really good. Nice and comfortable. Middle seat, you do have this large tunnel here. Of course, you're getting power sent from the engine to the rear wheels, so that makes sense. So you have to put your feet on each side of that. It's not too bad. A little bit firm in the middle, a bit firm on the base as well, so for short journeys really, but 2 adults in the back would be perfectly fine, maybe 3 kids. Of course, it's not the most practical family vehicle, but it can do it if you've got a small family, or maybe as a second car, it'd be perfect. If you're packing the whole family in and going on holiday, it's going to be a bit of a squeeze. So that is the updated Audi S3, and what did I think? Well, it's a really good car. It's fun to drive, especially on a twisty corner, thanks to that clever torque splitter technology taken from the RS3. There's a lot to like about the vehicle. It may not look as sporty as the Golf R, but underneath shares the same performance, but it gives a more premium and user-friendly feel inside, which I really appreciate. Is it worth the cash? Well, it's a little bit more than what a Golf R will set you back, but it will hold its value better. They are expensive, but you're paying for the performance car. It's more to ensure, it's more to run, it's more to buy in the first place, but that's gathered with a car like this. And I think the S3 is more of an everyday vehicle as well than an RS3 is. So you could really drive this as your everyday car, and then at the weekend pop it in Dynamic Plus and have a lot of fun with it. A huge thanks to Lake District Audi for making this video possible. If you want to take this for a test drive yourself, all their links are in the description down below. I've really enjoyed testing quite a few Audis here, and I look forward to doing more Audi reviews in the future. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.